So it's been almost 2 years since I've been up here from this position looking out. And it's been quite a journey for me, quite a journey for all of us at the offices with so much happening. And, not everybody knows everybody else's story because we don't have time. We all have our jobs to do. We're focused on getting things done. And sometimes, too, we feel like, well, my story wouldn't help anybody because it's not uplifting right now. But God always knows that there's a time that we have to share, even if it hurts, even if we cry. But I wanted to read from Isaiah 61, verses 1 through 7. The Spirit of the Lord God is upon me, because the Lord has anointed me to preach good tidings to the poor. He has sent me to heal the brokenhearted, to proclaim liberty to the captives, the opening of the prison to those who are bound, to proclaim the acceptable year of the Lord and the day of vengeance of our God, to comfort all who mourn, to console those who mourn in Zion, to give them beauty for ashes, the oil of joy for mourning, the garment of praise for the spirit of heaviness, that they may be called the trees of righteousness, the planting of the Lord, that he may be glorified. And they shall rebuild the old ruins. They shall rise up the former desolation. They shall repair the ruined cities, the desolations of many generations. Strangers shall stand and feed your flocks. The sons of the foreigner shall be your plowmen and your vine dressers. But you shall be named the priests of the Lord. They shall call you the servants of our God. And you shall eat the riches of the Gentiles, and in their glory you shall boast. Instead of your shame, you shall have double honor. And instead of confusion, they shall rejoice in their portion. Therefore, in their land, they shall possess double. Everlasting joy shall be theirs. I've had a cold, so I'm, still dealing with that. So bear with me. Several years ago, when I was working for the bookstore, I was in the mall with the kiosk. We started at the mall with the kiosk, and I was one of the first people there. So, at our mall, people don't really go there to shop. They just go there to walk, So you kind of get to know the people who are there to walk. And in the times that I was there was a family that came to bring their little boys so they could run, so they could play on those little merry-go-round things. And every time that the family would go by, they would stop and we would chat. And Daniel, 3 years old, he really liked me. I was his size, or, I'm close to his size. He was like, hey, let's play. So it was Daniel and his little brother and one on the way who turned out to be a sister. One day, after his sister was born, his dad said, let me tell you a story of what happened while we were in the labor and delivery room. Daniel was in the waiting room with his brother and with one of our pastors. So Daniel starts telling the story of Jesus feeding the multitude with the fish and the loaves. Only in Daniel's story, Jesus ran out of fish. So the pastor said, well, what did he do? What did Jesus do? And so Daniel said, he just threw steaks on the grill, like my daddy does. So the pastor said, well, where did Jesus get the steaks? And Daniel, 3 years old, says, he's Jesus. He can do anything. So Jesus, who can do anything, brought this family to my area at the mall to tell me that story, and I have never forgotten it. It's been 5 years, 6 years maybe? I don't remember. Anyway, that story has been going on over and over. He's Jesus. He can do anything. Amen. And sometimes that's been all that I've been able to hear. He's Jesus. He can do anything. And sometimes we need to hear that because sometimes our circumstances or the circumstances of others around us drown out everything else. One other time, Daniel came to the mall. He was so excited because he was expecting to see me. He ran down the hallway to come to the kiosk, only to find out that I wasn't there. And it was Valerie Willis, and she's a grandmother. She's had sons. She has grandsons. She's talked to him before. He knew her. But he was so upset that he said, "Hey, you're not my friend." And so after that, he was a little bit more hesitant to run. He started looking up at his daddy. Is my friend here? I can't see through all the stuff that's in the way. Can you see her? Is she here? Is my friend here? So if I was there, his dad would look down and say, "She's here." And he would start running. And he'd be so excited to see me. And I think that I have experienced a moment like Daniel, where I was expecting wholeheartedly, I'm so excited. And then disappointment. Last year, at the beginning of the year, for the first 3 months of the year, I thought I was pregnant. Only to find out, no, you're not pregnant. It's the beginning of perimenopause. Oh, okay, well, there goes my expectations and hopes, But, like Daniel, I have had to learn to look up at my daddy. Is it time to run yet? Is my hope there yet? Will my faith carry me through this time? Will I be disappointed again? I don't want to be disappointed, Daddy. So these stories of Daniel have really been like an encouragement to me. In spite of last year being such a horrible year with so many people passing away. When Pam died, I never really knew her, but her story was so close to people in my family that something broke in me. Coming out of my own disappointment to find another disappointment, I became brokenhearted. It became hard to laugh. And I always laugh. I love to laugh, you know that. But it became hard to find the joy to laugh. Because if the people I pray for are passing away, then I need to stop praying. I know heaven's a place, that's beautiful and joyful and happy and pain-free. People are dying to go there, But I started saying, hey, let's look at this. If everybody you're praying for is dying, then... So I started saying, okay, God, I don't know how to pray other than just help. Because I love people too much that I don't want to have false expectations and be disappointed. Well, and I don't want to encourage them to have false expectations and then be discouraged. But, He knows where we are. He knows where Thomas was. Come and touch my palms. Put your hand in my side. He knew. He knows where we are, and he knows how to reach us. He knows how to stop everything and just say, you know what? I know where you are. And I know you love me. I know you've been disappointed, but just keep your eyes on me. I am here to heal the brokenhearted. I'm here to proclaim liberty to the captives. I'm here to open the prison to those who are bound. Whether that's a physical ailment, whether that's emotional disappointment, whether it's a spiritual low and you're just, okay, I'm just here. He knows. But he's given us the promise. You shall have honor, double honor, instead of your shame. Instead of your confusion, you shall rejoice in your portion, and the land shall possess the double. Everlasting joy shall be theirs. So I have had to re-shift my focus and remember Daniel looking up at his daddy. Is it time yet? Is my friend there? Can I run without being disappointed? But ultimately, you have to remember that he's Jesus and he can do anything. I took that picture in 2017 in August. It was a really rainy, horrible afternoon. You couldn't really see. It was so dark outside at 5 o'clock. And I said, I'm not going out until it stops raining because, I might melt. So I waited. And when I went out to my car and then the sun was shining again and everything was still wet and glistening, I was opening up my door and I looked over and I saw that. And I said, I have to take that picture because it's the sign of the promise. And God never forgets his promises. Even when we don't see how he's going to answer them, or when we don't understand how he's going to do it, maybe we misunderstood what he was trying to tell us or whatever. It doesn't matter. Our point of view, that's his point of view. My promise is always, I will do what I said I would do. So I've just been trying to keep that in my mind, to remember that even when it's raining, he sees the rainbow. And even when I can't see the ground because it's raining so hard, he sees the end of the rain. He sees the flowers that it's going to bring. He sees the joy. He sees the laughter again. He sees the hope being restored. And I want to read Zechariah chapter 9, verse 12. Return to the stronghold, you prisoners of hope. Even today I declare that I will restore double to you. That has been a verse that he keeps bringing up to me over and over again for the last several years. Because I still need him to do that because, we just have to keep reminding ourselves, what is God doing? He's going to glorify his name. Even though I don't understand, or in spite of my pain, in spite of my grief of losing people that I've prayed for so much, so hard, in spite of what looks like a change in my body, God still knows his plans for me. And if, several years ago, many years ago actually, there'd been different people who didn't know me, some who did, who would come up to me and say, I just feel like God wants me to tell you, you're going to be a good mother. Well, I'm not a mother yet. But if I'm going to be a good mother, it's only because he's been my good father. And it's only because he's the one who knows how to work things out, to work all things together for my good, because I'm called according to his purpose, and it's not mine. So I have to remember my tendency is I'm in pain, I'm shutting down, I don't want to look around because I feel other people's pain too, and I don't know how to encourage them when I'm hurting. But I think I've had the wrong perspective on that, because we're supposed to still bear one another's burdens and still have hope. And I think God has helped me to bring my hope back, bring my smile back, and bring my laughter back. So I know it's not as fun as last time that I spoke. But that's because we go through processes. And when we're healing, sometimes it's slow. But the ultimate thing is there is healing. There is restoration. There is comfort. There's peace. And I'm so thankful that I work in a place where I have people praying for me and encouraging me, and who are man enough or woman enough, Retha, to come and say, Sandy, what's going on? Don't you know that your laughter encourages people? Oh, well, okay. I didn't realize that. But your encouragement has helped me to see, has helped me to remember to look up at my daddy and say, okay, I ran last time and I was disappointed. Is it time to run yet? Because I'm starting to feel expectation again. I'm starting to believe that there's nothing impossible for you. I'm starting to believe, Jesus, that you can do anything, even if it means steaks on a grill.